Hey YouTube, Pedro the Broke Prepper here. With another video. It's been a very long time since I've shot one of these. But it's been kind of crazy. I've been kind of going through some stuff. I recently bought a house, and I'm kind of done some soul searching, a little bit of research. I definitely wanted to upgrade my content, and I just haven't been able to kind of get to the videos. But going from here on out, no, I've said it before. I want to try to release them more often. Um, so going into the video, as the name implies, I want to kind of talk about some some things, some habits, or some pieces of like your personal life that I feel like should be in order to be able to prep, to be able to start prepping, or to have your prep be in a better place. So, kind of getting started into it, I feel like the first and most important single thing of anybody's prep is, your personal health. For instance, I've spoken to a lot of people, and I know me myself have been guilty of this. Um, you need to be healthy. You should be kind of working out or eating right to be able to prep. Just because that's the first thing. Your body is kind of like, your temple. You want to be healthy. You want to be able to do certain physical challenges, or challenge yourself physically. And I feel like a lot of preppers, and like I said, I myself have been guilty. Like, for instance, when I first started, making these videos, I know I wasn't in the greatest shape of my life. And I know, like, a lot of preppers, a lot of us are not in the greatest shape of our life. Like, I know if I asked, or we asked a lot of our prepper friends or prepper comrades to do something physically challenging, like spit out a couple push-ups or run a marathon, they wouldn't even be able to do like 1/10 of that. And I'm not saying I can run a marathon, but I can maybe do like a quarter marathon, half marathon, get pretty close to it, you know. But with that being said, I feel like that is something really important. And I myself am, I work out regularly. I try to work out every day. I don't work out every day, but I do a minimum of at least 3 workouts a day, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You can definitely count on me doing some stuff. And I'm not telling you to go join a gym. There's videos on YouTube, there's CDs that I'm sure you have a friend or two who have. Like, I myself, I have this workout plan called the 21 Day Fix. I do that regularly. I try to wake up every morning to do that. It's about half an hour workouts, and eating right on top of that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I don't eat donuts and I don't splurge, but I do that every once in a while. And I feel like you can do that every once in a while, you know, and like cut out fast food. Like, my wife and I, we probably eat fast food 2 and 3 times a month. And if I said four, I honestly feel like that's really pushing it. Yeah, there have been months where we've probably eaten takeout and fast food, like 4 times a month. But like I said, those are very seldom and very few in between, you know. So, again, if you're not healthy, prepping isn't going to do anything. You can have all the food in the world, but if you need to get up and go, or if you need to find a new job that's going to be physically exhausting, or if you just have to do something physically exhausting, ask yourself, can I do that? And if the answer is probably no, then I would work on that before I started stockpiling like a year's worth of food, or before I started stockpiling enough ammunition to supply the US military. You know, that is, I think, the first part of any prep that needs to be, just faced. And number two, I feel like your finances need to be in order. Because if you are spending money on your prep when you're pretty much living paycheck to paycheck, it makes no sense to prep because you're barely making it today to get to tomorrow. So why are you preparing for something that may or may not happen? Why are you preparing for something that could happen 5 months from now when you and your family are struggling right now? And there's a lot of material again on YouTube. There's a lot of books that you can be reading to help you with that. My wife and I budget very regularly. We sit down on very regularly and talk about what we need and what we need to buy, and the money that we have and the money that we need to spend. And we don't go into, we don't push ourselves into debt. We obviously have debt. Everybody has debt, but we've never been $10,000 in debt. We've never been $50,000. And of course, I'm talking about credit card debt. Obviously, I just bought a house, so I owe my life to a bank somewhere, you know? But that's somewhat healthy debt. I'm talking about like credit card debt. Like when I was a banker, people used to come to see me to help them manage their money so that they could get out of like 50, 60, $70,000 in credit card debt because they had to have a TV. My wife and I have a 32-inch TV. Do you know how shitty it is to watch TV on a 32-inch TV? Not fun. And it's the only TV we have. And now that we have a little bit of money saved up outside of my prep savings, I'm finally going to be able to buy a TV after like 5 years. Well, not even 3 years because I didn't have a TV beyond 3 years ago. So again, like your finances need to be in order because I feel like people are preparing for the end of the world when they're not even prepared for what might happen tomorrow. Like, are you prepared to feed your family and pay your rent and buy gas and fix your car if you lose your job tomorrow? What if you get laid off? What if your job goes bankrupt and everybody gets laid off? You have to be prepared for those type of disasters before you can prepare for like global disasters and like nationwide disasters. You have to prepare for your everyday disasters. If your car's transmission goes out, are you prepared for that? Can you buy a new transmission without throwing yourself into like stressful debt? These are the things that kind of need to be focused on. You need to work on a budget. You need to make sure you're saving money. You need to make sure that the money that you're spending on that brand new multi-tool or that brand new gun or that brand new backpack, you need to make sure you can afford that. And a lot of people feel like just because you have the money to buy it, that you can afford that. And that is not the case. If you are about to get your last paycheck of the month and your rent still hasn't even been paid, then why would you buy new equipment? Why would you buy, a year's supply of MREs? Again, it doesn't make sense. You need to have your finances in order. You need to sit down and create a budget. You need to save money. And everything that you have outside of your savings and your everyday expenses, that is the money that should be going towards your prep. And again, if that's your for fun money and that's your prepared money. That's the money that you can spend on tools, on gear, on food. Don't throw yourself into debt today for what might happen in a couple of months and kill your family tomorrow. It makes no sense. So, again, number two, and I feel like it's really important, have your finances in order. You know, there's so many resources for you to do this, so many books, so many YouTube videos to help you. Somebody I really do love to watch, and I've been doing what he preaches before I found him, but when I found him, he kind of put a lot of it into perspective and taught me some stuff I don't know, is Dave Ramsey's. Strongly suggest going through his 7 steps, um, and just doing that. And I don't want to ramble on too much. I already feel like I've rambled too much, so I'm gonna go ahead and go to number 3 now. And that's have your house in order. My house is a little bit of a mess right now, but there are sections that I know where everything is. I am constantly organizing and cleaning my house. You know, if your house isn't organized, if it's not clean, if you can't find something within 5-10 minutes, then when in an SHTF situation where you gotta get up and go, and you're taking 2 or 3 hours to pack everything up, again, you're supposed to be getting up and going. 2 or 3 hours isn't get up and go. You know, have your house organized. Have everything in a designated spot. Like, I know where my first aid kit is. I know where my emergency flashlights are. I know where my bug out bag is. I know where my get home bag is. I have toolboxes. I have 2 different toolboxes. I have quick fix toolbox, which is a small toolbox. You know, like crazy glue, hammer, multi-head screwdriver. And then I have my big fix screwdrivers. You know, those are like my bigger wrenches, my more specialized screwdrivers, bigger hammer, like specialized tools and stuff. You know, I know exactly where all of that is. I kind of keep tabs on where everything is, and I constantly in a state of organizing. I'm constantly throwing something out. Again, clutter is your enemy. You know, it slows you down when you're supposed to be moving fast. So, number 3, and it's not a whole lot to talk about on number 3, not like so much on number 1 and 2, which I definitely want to touch back on in other videos. But number 3, keep your house clean. Keep your living space clean. You know, your car is part of your house too. So if your car is full of papers or you have a bunch of tools in your car, again, in a shitty situation where you're somewhere and you can't take your car and you have to traverse on foot, are you going to be able to grab your get home bag and just go? Or are you going to be scrambling around your car and trying to find something while a fucking crazy mob is letting loose around you? Again, you know, these are the things that you kind of have to be prepared for. And kind of stepping outside of the 3, like out of number 3, and kind of touching back on everything, I don't think you should start your prep by preparing for the end of the world, for whatever you think that's going to be, if whether it's an economic collapse, global decay, or, you know, like a massive power outage that throws everything into anarchy. You know, I feel, or for those of you who believe in it, the zombie apocalypse. I don't think that's where you should start. You need to start with everyday disasters. My power just went out. My water heater just broke down. That literally happened to me. My water heater broke, and I didn't have a water heater for 2 whole weeks. But you know what? It didn't really bother me because I had, you know, a tub for it. Because I said, if the water heater ever breaks, we're going to have to boil water, put it in the tub, and, you know, you take, I hope this isn't racist or anything, but in my culture, we called it Chinese baths. You know, where you kind of take a little bowl and you just clean yourself. You know, and I hope I don't hurt any feelings. That's just what we called it growing up. But, you know, prepare for those everyday disasters. You know, your car breaks down. Your job just laid you off. You lost a shoe. You lost your wallet. You lost a card. Somebody stole some money from you. Are these the things you're prepared for, you know? If not, why are you preparing for the end of the world if your world is about to end any minute now and you're not even prepared for that? So again, guys, prepare for the everyday, not just for the end of days. So with that being said, guys, have fun, be safe, be prepared. Uh, don't ever not be prepared. I almost forgot my catch line. Um, and I hope that you guys see me more often. I do want to do some product reviews and all that, and I am trying to do some big stuff. Very exciting. So stay tuned. I'm very glad that people are still watching me, subscribing to me, and I'm really happy to see a lot of the positive feedback and advice that I've been getting. Of course, guys, I always take advice and I always try to respond to your comments, and it's very much appreciated. So thank you guys very much, and like I said, be safe, have fun, and don't ever not be prepared.